Big snub from King Charles. Either way, it's all over for Meghan and Harry. Well, according to the latest news that's out, Harry and Meghan have actually not even been invited to the King's birthday parade this weekend. And this is not just a case of the palace not issuing an invitation, no. Instead, apparently, the palace told the Montecito mourners that they are not welcome and they are not allowed to show up at the event. But this shouldn't come as a shock to anybody, and it shouldn't be a surprise that Meghan knows that she would receive a hostile reception, not only from the royal family, but from the public as well. It is all over for this mattress actress. She is never going to set foot in the UK ever again. She's still wanting her big payday, and that day may be here sooner rather than later. For Meghan, it's just a matter of Charles agreeing on an amount. But Charles shouldn't pay her a penny. The royal family has to have more than enough dirt on Meghan. I mean, I wish they could make some type of deal with her that if she agrees to just go away quietly, then they won't publish all the dirt they have on her. Whatever Meghan may believe she has on the royal family, fine, let her say it. Nobody's going to believe her, and Charles could easily file suit if she tries to publish anything without any real evidence. Meghan can say whatever she wants to say. It is not going to be enough to bring down the royal family. Another issue, of course, is that if Charles were to pay Meghan about $100 million for her silence, would that even work? Would she stay quiet? Probably not. Maybe until the $100 million runs out, but then it's game on, and she would be looking to blackmail him again. Or maybe he could just promise to pay her about $1 million a year until the invisible kids turn 18. I'm sure, though, Meghan is not going to leave Harry until she's got another multimillionaire in her claws. Seems like she has given up on her plan, though, to land a billionaire. I guess even she realizes they don't want anything to do with her. It seems like even Tyler Perry is trying to distance himself from her lately. I don't see Meghan ever returning to the UK unless she's going to make even more demands for her prince and princess children. Now that the king took Frogmore away from them, she's going to use security to her precious, priceless self as an excuse. And if she receives a big payday, then the royal lawyers are going to be smart enough to make sure that it comes with handcuffs. And if this happens, then Charles needs to use his king's head. He doesn't need to think as a father or a grandfather. Harry is also not really welcome to return to Britain. He allowed Meghan to really attack his home country, calling it racist. And a lot of people in America actually bought her lies in the beginning. Harry believes himself that Meghan was just showered with cruelty, but in reality the opposite happened. Harry burned his bridges to become a celebrity in Hollywood while doing a joint enterprise with Meghan, throwing his family as well as her family under the bus. So the best thing for Harry to do right now is to just stay in LA with all the other phonies. Harry also doesn't really have access to most of his money because it is all tied up in trust funds, so Meghan cannot touch any of that. She will get half of whatever money they have made. Harry needs a good attorney to look into the money that she gave to her mother. She did it to hide it, and he's going to know also what happened to the jewelry that she allegedly lost. As for those rings, well, they were purchased from Crown money, so is Meghan going to have to give those back? I hope so. I think the royal family should make it clear to Meghan that they know all about her dirty little secrets, and then they can tell her to walk off into the sunset with her 2 invisible children, or they are going to leak all the dirt. Tell her to go ahead and expose all the stuff that she has, and she's going to be the one who has to deal with the fallout. Meghan has already lost all credibility anyway. There's also a lot of really nasty stuff that could easily be exposed about Meghan's past that was provided to the late Queen by MI5 and MI6. All they really need to do is open that closet and all the skeletons of Meghan's are going to come spilling out. Any future political aspirations are going to disappear, and A-listers are going to avoid her. Nobody wants to be friends with somebody who's guilty of blackmail and extortion, and I wouldn't pay her a dime if I were the king. I think the royal family should call her bluff. They should just look her in the eye and tell her, do your worst. We don't care. We're not scared of you, and that's going to take her power away completely. The trio of slime, Meghan and Doria and Marcus, need to be relegated to the garbage dump where they belong. They can crawl back into the sewer they all crawled out of together. They are truly double toil and trouble, and that's never going to change. I hope that if they are real, Harry gets to take the invisible children back to the UK with him, because Meghan cannot be a good mother. At least he could be back with the royal family, and the kids would be well cared for, and they wouldn't be used as pawns anymore. It's interesting to me, too, that these divorce discussions don't seem to include any child custody arrangement questions, but the kids are still in the line of succession. I would love to see this mess cleared up. I really don't think that King Charles should have to pay Meghan, though. Other in-laws don't have to pay for divorce settlements of their adult offspring. So California is a no-fault divorce state. Prenups can be a wonderful thing, but whatever Harry and Meghan went into the marriage with and what they have earned during their marriage would end up being divided 50-50. Now, of course, the moneymaker for Meghan would be the invisible children. Child support, after all, is very expensive. But then again, we're just going to have to wait and see if either of those children is real. According to reports, the Queen did give Charles a lot of money for Diana, but there's no reason to think that the King would be asked to give Meghan any money if they end up getting divorced. The law dictates that money brought to the marriage remains with its owner. Only assets they acquire since marriage are split down the middle, and that would mean the house and whatever they have in the bank. Now, there's a mortgage on the house, so they're not going to get much off of that anyway. But I don't see any reason Meghan should get any money. She can easily work for her own money. Charles doesn't owe her a thing. Last time I checked, a divorce settlement is supposed to be between the man and his wife. It has nothing to do with other family members. A royal expert has also claimed that Harry is an adult. She didn't marry the family, just Harry. If they divorced, it has got absolutely nothing to do with King Charles. He wouldn't be obliged to give her any money at all. She would only be entitled to half of what they accumulated during their short marriage. And maybe that's a lot, I have no idea, but who really cares? Meghan should not get anything from the royal family or the king. The only thing the king might decide to do is provide for his grandkids, as long as they are real, as long as they're actually his grandkids, and that would probably only serve them once they reached age 25 or so, which is usually the way it goes with trust funds. Meghan also claims to be 41 years old, but I don't believe it. I have read in different places that Meghan was actually born in 1977. Now, she has had a lot of plastic surgery, sure, but I think she looks at least 46. I mean, or at least she did before she got this most recent round of surgery. Her father even publicly came out and said that she was born in 1977. I think he would know. Her high school graduation shows everybody in her class is 5 years older than the age that she gives. And I don't know about you, but those two reasons are more than enough proof for me. Meghan Markle is never going to age naturally either. She's way too much of an egomaniac. And this AI aging I've seen of Meghan is way too flattering. Years of hair extensions and straightening is not going to give her that hairline, come on. And the smile in the AI photo is way too real. Meghan does not have any sense of humor after all. She cannot experience real joy. The only time Meghan feels anything close to happy would be when her ego is stroked or her perceived enemy is harmed. No amount of plastic surgery is going to be able to hide the erosion her inner self is going to cause to her outer self. She's ugly inside, and her ugliness outside is going to show more and more. She's going to end up looking like an overly done Hollywood face. Her features all weird because the skin has been too stretched, it's been inflated, lips that have never really looked natural, and that razor-sharp nose with nostrils that are basically just little slits. We've seen it so many times. And Meghan is never going to stop because she cannot find just simple joy and happiness. Meghan lives a cursed life indeed, and I'm afraid that her attitude infects the people around her. And you, do you agree with me? If yes, please like and share my video with your friends and family members who need it too. If not, please tell me the reason, and we can also discuss Meghan and Harry. And don't be afraid to click the subscribe button to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.